Everyone loves to get something new, right? I mean, unless it's, a thermonuclear device hidden in your bathtub, new is awesome. I mean, we like getting new presents, and there's holidays dedicated to this. Who doesn't love a new baby? I mean, freshly picked, or even the promise of a new movie coming up that's going to entertain us. Heck, you can't even get married these days without something borrowed, something blue, and yes, something new. Now, the idea of new, while it's intriguing and it offers the promise of surprise, delight, and, well, all sorts of things, when it comes to the toy industry, there's actually some rules and regulations for this. Not all toys can be new all the time. And why are some toys labeled as new and others are not?
Oh, wow, new toys!
So if you pick up most action figure packaging, you're going to look and you'll see in usually the top right or the top left, somewhere at eye level, often there's a little burst. Sometimes it's a sticker, sometimes printed directly on package, calling out that this figure is new. Other times, not so much at all. You can look up, left, right, down, backwards through time, and you're not going to find a new sticker or a new burst at all. So the question is, if people love getting something new and they want the latest and greatest, why not just put this on every toy? Why do some toys get a big new burst and others do not? Is it arbitrary? What size does the burst need to be? Where does it need to be located on package? How do you know if a toy is new? Well, fortunately, here at Spector Creative, we like to go in and dive into these rules and regulations of the toy industry and try to explain them. New is basically a burst saying that attention must be paid. Anyone who's read Willy Loman can tell you that. But the question is, why? And why would you want everything to get attention paid to it? Why not just say everything is new? I mean, heck, the toys are produced new. They just came from the manufacturer, so whether or not it's new in the aisle, it's freshly made, so doesn't that still qualify as new? And calling something out, isn't that going to draw attention at retail? So you would want to slap that on everything. New, 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 new. All right, well, not quite so much. All right, here's a good example. Chewbacca here has a nice blue and yellow new sticker on the left. Now, this toy never made it to market, at least on this package, but it's a great example because in this configuration, as was planned, there was a new burst. When the figure was actually released on a brand new branded package, the new burst was removed. So why is this? Why is that the exact same figure, just because it's on one package with one feature, gets a new burst, but when it turns out that figure is released on a different packaging, the new burst is removed? Well, there's actually a very logical reason for that. So this specific Chewbacca figure, we're talking about part of the Power of the Force line from around 1999, right before Episode 1 came out, Phantom Menace. All of the figures came with a Comtech chip. When Episode 1 came out, all of those figures had a Comtech chip, but after a year, it was going to get a Comtech 2.0, hence calling out that the existing feature was now better. It now had twice the speech. The additional reason is, without a branding change, you wouldn't know that this figure features a brand new update to the feature. But when the branding on the package is changed, you don't need this. Another good example is Masters of the Universe. Whether you're looking at Origins or the original line from the 80s, they never changed the packaging. The packaging stayed consistent with the blue sky, the logo, and the red burst for the entire run. With Star Wars, packaging changes all the time. Power of the Force 2 lasted 4 to 5 years, which is a bit of an anomaly. All of the other lines that came out since that have more or less stayed on shelf for about a year and then undergone a very dramatic package shift. Changes in color, changes in branding. You know it's this year's product because it's completely different visually from last year's product. Now, the branding does the heavy lifting in this case. The new colors, the new fonts, those all do all of the communication. When a toy does not change branding and maintains it for its entire run, and the Vintage Masters of the Universe line is a perfect example, you need the new burst in order to communicate that these figures are not ones that your child already has. When you're a parent shopping, and it's very difficult to shop as a parent or a gift giver, because you don't know which figures your kid has, or your niece or your nephew. So the new burst tells you, oh, this figure is new, even though the packaging hasn't changed. Well, why not just slap new on everything if that's going to help move more product? You can't exactly do that because there are rules and regulations in the toy industry that govern the use of new, and that is 6 months. You can put new on an action figure or any toy, dolls, vehicles, plush, etc., for 6 months. Now, obviously, it might be on shelf for more than 6 months, but you can only produce enough for 6 months worth of orders. And it's the same with food, all consumer products. Anything with the word new on it can only be on shelf for 6 months, and then it's no longer considered new, and then it's considered false advertising. So that's why some toys get new and some don't. New can tell you that it's a brand new character if a line hasn't changed their branding. Now, limited edition bursts, that's a whole other issue, and we'll get into that in another video. But there's regulation on that too. When is something limited? When is it not? But hey, now you know the new story, or rather the story of new. So when you see a toy with the burst new on it, hey, you got 6 months to pick it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about this or other aspects of the toy industry, love to know. I'm glad to make videos with some of the insight I've had from working here for so long, and thank you so much for sharing this video. It's the best way to show support for this channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.